Forgetting the lyrics on stage with Bob Dylan and being father to Catwoman, Lenny Kravitz has come a long way from living in his busted rental car. Lenny Kravitz was born as Leonard Albert Kravitz on May 26, 1964 in Brooklyn, New York, to a Jewish father and an African-American actress, Roxy Roker. His dad worked as a television producer, and his mom was well known for being a part of the show The Jeffersons. Even though he came from a privileged upbringing, he still had to endure racial remarks because of his interracial background. According to Amo Mama, Kravitz's parents were very different from each other, with the singer even admitting that he shared a different relationship with his mom and dad. For Kravitz, his mom was loving and kind, saying about her, she wasn't someone who would gossip about people, and she was a very good gauge of character.
She put others first. She was incredibly kind and very fair.
As for his father, Kravitz believed that his father was someone who believed in tough love and tried to discipline his son. That said, his father did love him, but at the same time, Kravitz couldn't help but be scared of him when he was little. Their family ended up in Hollywood because of Roker's acting commitments, and it was there that Kravitz discovered his passion for music. He wrote about his roots in his 2020 memoir, Let Love Rule, saying, "I am deeply two-sided, black and white, Jewish and Christian, Manhattan and Brooklynite." His childhood was essentially made up of extremes. The Associated Press reports that the singer would spend time in a relatively rough Brooklyn neighborhood and also at a fancy apartment building in Manhattan. Even his food was diverse, as he tried everything from fancy meals to staple food like fried fish with cornmeal. He went on to describe his lifestyle by writing, "The extremes really work for me. I felt them. I'm comfortable living in a car or a box or a tent or a trailer, and I'm comfortable living in a mansion." According to biography, even as a child, Lenny Kravitz was intrigued by music and was a part of the California Boys Choir. The Guardian explains that Kravitz was exploring his love for music even when he was a toddler, playing with utensils in the kitchen. He eventually took to playing the guitar, drums, and the piano. His aptitude for music eventually earned him a spot in the music program at Beverly Hills High School, and it seemed that he was destined to be a musician. According to biography, after he left home, he struggled to break into the music industry. Around this time, Kravitz also found out his parents decided to get a divorce. When it came to his parents' relationship, things had been sour for a long time. His dad had a track record for cheating on his mom from the time Kravitz was a kid. According to Kravitz, his father was frustrated about the fact that his wife and son were able to achieve things he didn't, adding, "I could understand what it was with other women because he felt he needed to be the man, although he already was the man, and my mother treated him as the man. But in a superficial world, she was the star, and he was not." Despite his parents' connections in the entertainment industry, Lenny Kravitz was determined to succeed on his own. According to biography, he stayed in a rented car paying a rental fee of $5 every day. When he decided to leave his parents' home, Kravitz said in an interview with Rolling Stone, "It wasn't that they didn't want me there. It was that I just decided that I needed to go out and do my thing. I didn't want to live under the rules that took place under that roof. Basically, I lived in friends' houses, recording studios, cars. Most nights, Kravitz would sleep in front of his girlfriend's home, but that wasn't without its challenges. One day, the couple had a fight, and Kravitz slammed his car shut and broke the window. With no window, Kravitz obviously didn't sleep comfortably. Around the same time, Kravitz was holding odd jobs, working in fish markets, shoe shops, and more just to make ends meet. In 1987, Lenny Kravitz eloped with actor Lisa Bonet. The duo had their daughter, Zoe Kravitz, a year later. Even around this time, Kravitz didn't live lavishly. He and his budding family were roughing it out in a loft in New York, and as Kravitz described it to The Guardian, it was still grungy there. Artists were squatting, people were held up at knife point. Their bohemian life inspired later Kravitz's debut hippie-sounding album, Let Love Rule. But even at the time, things were still hard. Without a label, Kravitz had to innovate and work within his means. As for how he was inspired to come up with Let Love Rule, Kravitz said that it came to him out of the blue. He wrote the words Let Love Rule on a wall and decided to work on it with a guitar after passing the wall every day. Even though he finished the album, Kravitz found himself fighting to lock down a deal because labels couldn't understand him and his music. Luckily, he ended up meeting with someone at Virgin Records who loved his style and gave him a life-changing offer. At the same time, other labels offered to sign him once they realized Virgin was trying to nab him, but he stayed with Virgin Records, explaining that he knew he'd get a true chance to evolve and develop with the label. His freshman album wasn't a huge hit, but it also wasn't a dud either. Despite the lackluster response, Kravitz knew he needed something bigger to make a mark on the industry. Little did he know that the pop singer Madonna would be a part of that plan. In 1990, he worked with the musical legend on the song Justify My Love. While Madonna was believed to be taking a risk by releasing the track as the first single from her album, The Immaculate Collection, the gamble ended up paying off. The song was a huge hit, and even today, it's still considered to be one of Kravitz's greatest. He also worked as a supporting act for other notable artists like David Bowie, Tom Petty, and Bob Dylan. Although the Bob Dylan act didn't come without its embarrassment.
He called me to come out.